Alright, hey, I just want to let you know before we get into the video, this isn't, there's no gameplay in this video. It's mostly just me talking. There's some clips from, like, famous fighting game moments, but it's more like a podcast. I'm gonna hope to do more episodes of this podcast. I'm just trying to, get my opinion out there because that's what I really want to do with this channel, is just share my opinion on video games. So if you're into that kind of stuff, hit the like button for more. Enjoy! So, for today's video, I wanted to do a little different style rather than me playing a video game. I wanted to talk. And I want to talk today about the biggest problem, the biggest issue that I see with fighting games as a whole. I love fighting games as a genre. It's probably my favorite kind of game to play. Street Fighter, Skullgirls, Super Smash Brothers. However, there is an inherent problem that we can see in all of these games that if fixed, would make them significantly more enjoyable than they already are. So first off, let's talk about why I like fighting games. I like the fast-paced, rapid action style of a fighting game. I like the mental struggle that goes on between me and my opponent while we play. It's all so enticing and it happens so rapidly. And there's no other feeling in the world like hitting a crazy game-winning comeback combo in Street Fighter or getting some bonkers edge guard in Smash Brothers. It's wonderful. The problem is not everyone likes fighting games for the same reason that I do. The the problem that I want to address today in this video is the skill gap in fighting games. Nowadays, more than before, people play fighting games wanting to win. They get their fun. They have fun when they're winning, but not when they're losing, which isn't an inherent problem, but they're also not willing to put in the effort to start winning. If you want to win in a video game, you have to actively be trying to improve. It's not like I go on to Slippy Melee expecting to beat everyone after I haven't practiced for a month. No. But I see it in my friends. They come over to my house to play, Melee or Marvel vs. Capcom with me, and they haven't practiced jack squat, and then they get really frustrated when they're losing. And that's because the skill gap in these games is a little bigger than they were ready for. And they want to play games with a lower skill gap like Smash Bros. Ultimate or Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which are games that are way easier to pick up than something like Street Fighter Third Strike or Melee. The problem is the same games that they like playing because they can win. They can win when we play Ultimate. They can win when we play MVC Infinite. The same thing that makes them like that is the thing that makes me not like it. For me to be enjoying a fighting game, I want to have to actually try to win. The fun part of Melee for me is being able to sit in training mode for a couple hours, practicing all of my Falco setups, my shine down airs, my edge canceling, and then be able to go online and see it applied and hit these crazy, 10 hit combos. But in a game like Ultimate, where the skill gap is relatively low and almost anyone can win, I don't enjoy that as much. You see pro fighting game players expressing the same thoughts. Like the other day, I was watching a video on Kizzy K's channel. If you don't know who Kizzy K is, he uh, plays for Panda Global. He's a Street Fighter player, and he was talking. He was reacting to the Guilty Gear Strive releases, and that they were going to be keeping the damage high in that game because the damage in that game is immensely high, and that really does just lower the skill gap so much, and the people of the world, not the people of the fighting game community, like that. they like that they can, get two grabs and suddenly be making a comeback on their friend. That's what's exciting to them. They don't care if the way they make the comeback was hard, they just care that they make it. I don't remember who I was watching. I think it was like Core Gaming the other day talking about Street Fighter 5, and I think the what they said was a comeback isn't cool anymore. A comeback is to be expected. And I feel like for a fighting game, that's just kind of sad because if you look at Street Fighter 5, it has 6 frames of built-in input delay, which takes out so much reactionary play that's hard to do at a top level. The window for doing things like parries is extremely large. It's the combos in that game are significantly easier than something like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or Third Strike. So almost anyone can do all the combos. And so you'll see someone who's been playing Street Fighter for years, someone like Daigo that has that legendary reputation. Maybe Daigo will win one tournament. Everyone's like, oh, he's the best. Daigo's epic. And then he'll just lose to some random at the next tournament because it's super hard to stay ahead of the game, ahead of the rest of the competition in a game that is built so that everyone can win. So here we've reached a standstill between the competitive fighting game community, people like me, people like Daigo, people like Mango from Melee, and then you have the common gamer, your casual gamer. And this problem does not have an inherent solution. You could, as a company, so think of someone like Capcom as a company developing their next game. I don't want to use Nintendo because obvious reasons, but if Capcom is developing their next game, they have to decide where to put the skill gap. And they can either put it higher, like somewhere like Third Strike, where you can get obscenely good at the video game by practicing, or they can, make another game like Street Fighter 5 that is largely disliked by the competitive Street Fighter community, but largely enjoyed by the casual gamer. And so it's a matter for them to either be making, I guess making relatively more if they're lowering the skill gap because they have more casual player base, or they could arguably be making just as much by hiring the skill gap and appealing to their main player base, which is the fighting game community, in my opinion, because they get tons of free public, hmm, advertisement. I want to say awareness comes from events like Evo and Genesis that run fighting games. So it's a hard decision for these companies, but I honestly think what would it hurt? What would it hurt in Street Fighter 5 to take out the input delay? They have 6.5 frames of input delay. That's bonkers. That's bonkers. Think of a moment like Evo Moment 37, right? Or the Daigo parry. It might be Evo Moment 32, my bad. But think of the Daigo parry, right? Where he had to hit this tiny frame window to parry every hit of a 15-hit super live in front of an audience versus Justin Wong. That was bonkers. In Street Fighter 5, you can do the same thing by just mashing the button. Where is where's the fun in that? As a player, how do you sit there mashing the parry button and think, "Oh, bro, yo, I'm sick. Dude, I'm sick." I don't get it. I don't as a competitive player, it makes almost no sense to me how someone gets gratification from that. I hit a combo in Smash Bros, right? Like I'm playing online Ultimate or something, and I get this crazy I was playing Pac-Man the other day and I just did forward air, down air off stage and it killed because they DI'd in the whole time. I did not feel good. Yeah, it wasn't like, oh shoot, yo, I'm off the charts right now. Because they DI'd in the whole time. And I just pressed like 3 buttons and read their dumb jump. Like, nothing about that gives me satisfaction, but when I'm playing Slippy Online Melee and I hit like a crazy tech chase as Captain Falcon and then go for my big read, that's kind of nice though. Or I really enjoy playing Melee Peach. I think Melee Peach is super fun to play, and those crazy like offstage turn up edge guards or comboing off of Parasol, that's so fun to me. Arguably more fun than winning, but it's sad to think about. I have friends as a gamer friends, and we'll hang out for a while, play some games. Usually like Call of Duty. My friends really like zombies, and then we'll play some Rocket League. Minecraft is a fan favorite, obviously. And then I'll be like, "Yo, do you guys want to play some? Let's pick Melee as an example because it's the game that I play the most. Yo, do y'all want to play some Melee?" And they're like, "Sure, sure, sure." And we start playing, and they're getting like genuinely frustrated that I just hit like three rests in a row because all they do is tech in. And so I tell them, I'm like, yo, stop teching in. You gotta tech in a different direction, else I'm gonna hit that every time. And something in their brain just com- doesn't compute, and they just keep teching in, and they get frustrated, and then they can't get any of their openings because they don't play the game enough. So if you're gonna play melee with me, you can't be expecting to win. That's unrealistic because you practice significantly less than me. And if winning is the minimum that has to happen for you to have fun playing the game, then you either A, practice the game until you can win, or B, you don't play it. Which is where we see the skill gap problem, because these same friends that I whoop in Melee, I play in Ultimate and lose to. There's just something about Ultimate. There's input lag in Ultimate for sure, and there's also significantly like less hits done and less advanced techniques for sure. Something like, L canceling, wave dashing, edge canceling, crouch canceling, things that I do in Melee, I can't in Ultimate. So the amount better than my friends I can be is significantly reduced. And you see that at a top level too. Take someone whose YouTube channel I really enjoy, Mars, Panda Mars. He's sick at Ultimate, right? He plays CSS, and he's really good. And I look at him streaming, him playing like Elite Smash, and even with his like good, better characters, ZSS, Captain Falcon, Snake, and I see him, you know, getting close to losing games and losing stocks all the time, and then I see someone like PPMD, one of the former gods of Melee, play Melee unranked, just basically four stocking every game with little to nothing to stop him. And I think the main reason for that is that you just physically can be better at Melee than you can at Ultimate. Thus, we see the skill gap. The top players in Ultimate and the top players in Melee are an entirely different breed of people. But I just wanted to sit down for a minute and discuss the skill gap and my concerns with it, why it affects me as a player, and why it affects the casual gamer as a player. It's why people are still playing, Melee and Marvel vs. Capcom Ultimate after all these years, rather than playing the new games like Ultimate and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which just don't really stack up to the older games. As a player, I prefer the higher skill gap, even if I'm not on the higher end of that skill gap. the fact that the potential is there is something very promising to me, and it makes me want to sit down in training mode on Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and play it for hours trying to get good, while I sit down for Ultimate, play one match, then turn items on and spirits, because there's no point in playing without it. That's what makes the game fun. This reminds me of uh, something that Ken said. Now, Ken is the king of Smash. He dominated Melee for a long time, taking first at every major, pretty much never losing ever in a single tournament. It was insane how good he was at the game. And I remember him being on a panel with some other gamers. I think Chillindu was one of them. I'm not sure, but I remember him talking about Smash 4 for the Wii U, and he said, "I play Smash 4 when I want to have fun." And the crowd goes, "Ooh, ooh, burn!" Like, and everyone, Nintendo goes, "What?" The people go, "What?" But it's true. You play Smash 4 when you want to win, when you want to goof around with items on the goofy stages, playing your goofy character. Melee you play when Melee is played for an entirely different reason than Smash 4. For me, as a Melee player, I'm not the best. I've never made it out of pools. I'm a low level player that who knows what I'll amount to. I've only been playing for about half a year now, but I want to just show that I'm good at the game. I remember watching the Smash documentary when it got, not when it got released, but back in probably end of 2019 is when I first watched the Smash documentary. And in Mango's episode, they said Mango just wants to show you how good he is at the game. And I can relate to that actually on a very interpersonal level. When I go on unranked, my goal is not to be PPMD and 4-stock everyone. My goal is to hit my, one combo a game, my one 70% combo, my one brutal edge guard. Because that's what's fun about the game. That is why we play Melee. We play Melee to express ourselves, to show how cool we are. The point of Melee is not to go out there and dominate everyone. The point is to go out there, hit your, puff rest setup that you've been practicing, and everyone in the venue go, "Oh, bro, he's sick." You go out there to get your combos hyped up by other people. You go out there to prove your skill at the game. And I love that. I love the adrenaline rush that comes from that. But that just isn't enough for most people. They need to win, they need to feel validated. Thus, we see the fundamental problem with fighting games. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have enjoyed listening to me rant on about the skill gap. If you want to be at the top of the skill gap, if you want to be a god level gamer like Mango, I heard all you have to do is hit the subscribe button. I don't know. It wasn't me that said that. Someone else said it. If it doesn't work, you can just unsubscribe. Go subscribe to the Professional Menn channel, a new channel that just started up. Go check it out. We're playing Nintendo games over there. It's gonna be sick. And remember, leave a comment telling me what you think about the skill gap. Bye.